The sense here is that both sides want to avoid a shutdown threat for real. The deadline for funding the government is March 27th, not till the week after this. But there's a more important deadline coming up this Friday, and that's vacation for members of Congress, a 2-week vacation. It starts at that point. They want to head for the exits, but they have to wrap up some of these very big budget votes first. First up, the Senate and House both need to finish work on that 6-month temporary spending bill to keep the government operating, keep the lights on, and avoid a shutdown. And then separately, each chamber is set to vote on competing budget plans for the next 10 years. The new Ryan Republican plan in the House, Patty Murray's Democratic plan in the U.S. Senate. Now, on the shutdown fight, that spending bill, there's no appetite for a shutdown right now, but everyone knows this is must-pass legislation, so they're trying to add their pet program to the bill. A lot of people trying to soften the blow from sequestration, and every tweak the Senate makes this week invites the possibility of a rebellion in the House later in the week. So the vacation incentive is a very big one, Betty, but there is room for mischief this week, and this bill is already behind schedule thanks to pork protests from Tom Coburn and John McCain.
And what about the votes on the Ryan and the Murray budgets you just mentioned? Do they matter?
Well, they do matter. You know, each one of these budget plans is going absolutely nowhere in the other chamber. But if the Congress is actually going to grind out a grand bargain, these two proposals will mark the starting point for negotiations. And right now, hard to see any middle ground between these two plans. Ryan's plan, of course, includes his Medicare changes as well as a repeal of Obamacare and steep domestic spending cuts. The Murray plan over in the Senate includes nearly $1 trillion in new taxes, a non-starter for Republicans. But if they both pass their respective chambers this week, then it does, at least on paper, set up a negotiation this spring ahead of the next debt ceiling deadline. That's why these matter. Of course, Betty, we're a very long way from a deal, but even John Boehner over the weekend talking about this is the best way to try and reach that grand bargain, the regular order through these committees and these budget resolutions.